Welcome to today's presentation of Donkey Kong Bonanza's Emerald Rush expansion. I believe at this point this is our 11th stream featuring just the expansion and DLC content, which really speaks to its longevity. In recent months, we have spaced out these broadcasts to coincide with the approximately monthly challenge events that have been happening layer by layer, and that is once again why we are back today for an event in the freezer layer that I believe is entitled Freeze Break. And so we'll be proceeding to that. As in previous sessions, if we happen to get that done early, then we're going to continue on to sweep a couple more completions as we continue to fill in our Void Company card. Now, as you'll notice from the golden Pauline and DK statue that we have here, prominently showing it off at the beginning of the stream today, we now have collected all of the figures that were originally included with Emerald Rush. What we don't have yet are all of the figures that are introduced 2 by 2 in the monthly events. We've collected all of the ones obtainable up to this point, but not including this week, which is once again going to feature characters from Tropical Freeze, and we will take a look at the event card to see exactly what that looks like. Also, we know it's in the freezer layer, so let me just do a quick little costume check here. We haven't changed it since the last time we were here, when after completing the event last time, which I think was in the landfill layer, we swept the freezer layer on difficulty 5, so I think we're already outfitted with what we want, with some improvements with the base movement in mud and snow, as well as just a general across-the-board Bonanza extension, since we don't know yet if we're going to be focusing on any specific build with the events preset random seed. We might as well do a bit of a color change. I'm thinking that since we have a snowy event, that we might actually want to perhaps camouflage ourselves white on white, and it might look reasonably interesting if it's still also visible. I'll take a look at some of the alternatives, of course, while we have a chance, but we haven't really spent a lot of time just running pure albino here, so I think we'll go with that. And that is indeed looking good. Actually, given that it's the preset seed, I wonder if the Void Company neckwear even matters in terms of improving the draws and the chance of rare perks. It might not actually have an effect for the event. I hadn't really even considered that until this moment, but we're not going to mess with that too much. And they don't tend to be too tightly tuned anyway. All of the events are on difficulty 4, which is pretty manageable. And it's really just a matter of puzzling out what exactly we need to do to play towards what the event is trying to funnel you to when it comes to a particular combination that is meant to get you over the million mark when it comes to emeralds. Now, before I get into that, I just want to review a little bit of what our progress has been like so far. This is our company card. We are fairly close to yet another Pauline Void Company outfits, and closing in on the 10k that we need to fill out the card completely, and keeping the averages for completion relatively high. The completions here are not affected by the challenge event itself. It has no relation to the employee card. But yeah, we've done a couple of these on 5, definitely all of them on 4 quite a while ago. And today we'll be going to the freezer layer for the event itself, which we, again, completed on 5 last time. So, let's do the event. It is the freezer layer, and we will see where on the island these statues will actually be located once we collect them. And let's see if we can get them on one attempt. Usually we can do it on 1 or 2 events, with 1 or 2 attempts rather, as we know from events past, but it really depends on how much rust we need to shake off on the first run and how long it takes to figure out what exactly the event is trying to push us towards doing. On difficulty 4, it is a very brisk 10 rounds, and so we'll see how quickly we can amass that currency. Let's take a look. It's been a few weeks since we've done this. The last event was 5 weeks ago because it was placed 3 weeks after the one preceding it to work around at the Christmas holidays. And so we haven't been back in a while. Probably our longest absence from this game since the gap between the original release and Emerald Rush itself. So let's take a look at the map first and see how we do. Okay, map first. So let's see what we're looking at here. Now, Zebra is usually pretty critical on Freezer just to have an easy path over some of the bridges. There are alternatives, of course, but it does resolve a lot of problems. We definitely want to catch some of this stuff, catch the bonanzas at minimum before we get into the round 3 reroll. Again, until we see the fossil perks, it's not going to be obvious necessarily what we're building for, but we'll get Zebra and Elephant right away, and I wonder... Yeah, so Egg Bomb is down here in the lower level that you would tunnel to if you go down to that Elephant location. And then we have one of the bananas on the Growtone already also available. So, yeah, a lot of things that are going to build up banana energy for us at the moment. So maybe we do it on this level first. Collect these two, go for Zebra and Elephants, and then take it from there. Whoops. Again, gotta shake off some rust, perhaps. And just, you know, punch in the correct direction to start with. And the perks should give us some idea of what to go for quickly. Now, the thing about Banana Slime is the earlier you start building it, the better it is. Having it as the first straw is usually pretty good. And so if the meta for this one is to build up a huge Banana Slime total and just sweep the board for bananas, we should in fact go for that. Encore Groove, that rewards you for the transformations, of course. That has the benefit of getting up to level 2. And again, all of these actually benefit from being picked up as soon as possible. But we know that we're going to be collecting bananas. We don't know yet. I've found that in the past that Encore Groove hasn't stacked as well as I would like. But then maybe we weren't building towards it very deliberately. So we'll go Banana Slime since we kind of have a banana sequence mapped out already for what we want to do. And it'll be Growtone here next. So I have to adjust our eyes here to the camera and the field of vision here after not having played for some time. And whoop, have to face the right direction too. That's kind of important. And Fossil Radar, Superior Smasher. Yeah, since we haven't really been clearing out the ore on the map yet, that might be useful. At some point we'll want Fossil Radar, but I think maybe we can survive just slightly longer without it. And just make sure we build some things early. And then, yeah, because there are all these empty glassy bananas that we haven't touched yet that we'll want to build towards as well. And again, we see that initial Banana Slime bonus already building up. Building a turnip out of the ground, that's too situational. We almost never see that. But the fact that it's seeded here makes me think that there's perhaps a build that it's kind of encouraging you to do that is oriented around that, which I don't think I have the map knowledge to do that necessarily. I don't even remember where the turnips are in this one, so let's go over this. And yeah, we're going to continue going for that. Now, in the challenge mode for the monthly events, you cannot spend chips to block anything. You can't deliberately exclude anything, so everything might eventually be relevant. If we barrel out of here, then we can go for the apple juice counter quickly. Punch power is always useful. We can just continue sweeping for bananas, I think, while we have the opportunity to do so, and just take them one by one on this layer and just clean up everything we can. And just build up some of those bonuses before we really start smashing things like the Emerald Bullion and destroying some terrain. Oh, speaking of which, yeah. I just said before destroying all that terrain, but that's okay. Yeah, we want to save that, I think, because it looks like there is a build that's being presented to us that basically pumps bananas and bullion, and so we have to keep that in mind. We don't see anything to boost the Void Gold objectives just yet. We'll keep going Banana Slime, I think. Turnip greens, like, this is really kind of pushing me towards it, and the thing is, I just don't know where turnips are, so until we know why we would be building towards that, I don't think I can afford to go for it. We'll go for punch power. Oop, that was not the best surf here. And then, how do we get in here again? Do we just go up top and down? I think we do, actually. Can we? Yes. Yeah, we do. Oh, it's missing slightly. No wonder. Actually, yeah, we just missed the exterior entrance into this. We're going to keep stacking bananas. Like, we're so early in the banana count that it just makes so much sense to do it. Not even going for the objective at the moment until we have a good reason to do so. Yeah, we'll just continue stacking bananas then. We've got fast charge all over the place here, even though we don't really have much of a charge mechanic we're working towards. How we're doing for quota, pretty decent actually, but the quota is not going to be a concern at all. It's getting to the 1 million mark by stacking enough that is ultimately going to be the decider here. And so, yeah, down below on the lower level here on the observation deck, you have something. Oh yes, down below this area, we'll have the health bonus, which, if we can spare the time, we should go for that one as well, while it's still giving us an actual perk and not just an empty glassy banana. Also, totally missed a fossil. Completely whiffed that one. Can we go back up for it? I don't know. Yeah, this is not the best. Not. Okay. Here we go. We'll keep going bananas. Just max that thing out while we're so early. Still in wave 2 here. Okay. Now our punch power is a little limited right now. How are we doing for chips? Not enough to work with, actually. So... Oh yes, no, here you have a side entrance, I think. Unless I'm thinking of a different place. Oh yeah, I think it's actually up through that ledge. Maybe we would get the side entrance. Hang on. Oh, I could remember how to do this. And then we've got a big fossil over here. For this map, we actually would want the barrels, I think. 2 is safe. We probably don't need much more than 2. But if we have objectives that zip us down to the sinkhole or something, it's just such a big map. We should take that for safety. Even if it doesn't help us amass right away necessarily. We are way above what I needed for this thing here, but okay, let's go up then and take the top banana over here. then we'll keep on going for that. Like, just go for a pure banana strat. Now, it does mean I need to remember how to go down to that location. Yeah, this was too high up here. Oh, it's this lower ledge. We don't want to spend all our time punching, which we currently don't really have the punch power to do. We do have Elephant, though, if we really wanted to blow some things up and dig a hole. Maybe we should have considered going for that. Where am I? Okay, up here. We'll head down maybe Elephant Inn or something. On this layer right now. You know what? Let's just do it. I'm actually... Oh. Overshot it. Okay. That was not great, actually. I was hoping to go for that. Yeah. Okay, we got ourselves in a weird spot here. Unfortunately. There we go. That took too long. Go down below and try to take the lower banana. Look how good this is getting, actually. Oh, I think I missed a fossil right there. But here we're right by the sinkhole, are we not? Yes, we are. And we'll keep going for the smasher stuff. We haven't really been doing much in terms of surfing or bonanzas, so we'll go for pure emerald, especially because we haven't really smashed too much bullion on the ground, and so we could amass nicely if we do that. We're not really building chips, unfortunately, because otherwise having one of the 500 chip rewards that lets you really get into generating more emerald bullion on the map would obviously be extremely impactful here. We haven't really been using the barrels at all because I haven't had a reason to warp. So perhaps at this juncture we should start warping to save time. And moreover to hit even the first void goal so we can at least pick up a couple more perks. But we need, if we're burning one warp already, we need a very clear plan for continuation when it comes to just sweeping more bananas off the board. And again, are we already in wave 3? Yeah, if we are, then, you know, we only have a limited amount of time to grab stuff like ostrich, so it may actually even be better to come down here and make sure we get ostrich first, just in case we need it for movement. Because, yeah, there are enough sequences, especially down here, that ostrich might be somewhat necessary for, and so we should in fact go for that. Alright, in that case, I think we'll... Oh yeah, and there's an egg bomb up in this location as well. Yeah, because we're already, like, starting wave 3 here, well, I don't know how often we're going to be back here, so let's just grab some chips. Fossils. Look at how high Banana Slime is going as well. Yeah, we'll get it since we're still doing bananas. And then, yeah, if we're not likely to come back, then we'll smash Boolean, but whoops, wrong button. We'll have to get the map back into muscle memory here. Okay, we want to go for ostrich. Oh yes, this one requires you to do the little challenge thing here, so maybe we try to go down without using the warp by taking this hole. But then how far off am I from the hole? A little bit far off at the moment, so might make sense to come over here. Actually, no, we'll do ostrich first and then we'll barrel back up. And when we barrel back up, then that allows me to pursue the objectives around the cave area. That seems best. As long as we don't regret burning a warp, so. Okay, so ostrich is gonna be here. Big amount of boolean over here that we can already see kind of paying off. We haven't really been surfing too much. Again, we'll just continue stacking the ones that are boolean related, I think, and then yeah, because we're leaving some of the other empty bananas alone right now because they are going to fill in later waves, but the bonuses we're accruing now will contribute towards that as well. So let's head towards the barrel up, unless there's another banana that we want to take here imminently. A little hard to see here. I don't know that we'll go for that break blast one. We'll just take barrel up. I think we had a plan. Yeah, we haven't really been going for fossils. That's the only thing. I mean, I guess that's the consequence of not having gone for fossil radar earlier. But we'll... Oh, should have surfed some of this. Oh, got hit by the lamppost here. At some point, we're going to need to get better collecting on this. We have very few chips. Chips have just not even been a factor this time around. Also notice that we didn't collect the egg bomb here. I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, the location to go to that is down through the lower level cave. We will not do that yet, I think. We're going to go here instead and smash. Make sure we collect what we can. Oh, no, don't break it yet. We want to save it, again, in case of bananas, but we'll at least finally fill in some void goals, which have just not even been a factor here. But we should do that to build up bonuses. We'll keep going for bananas. I mean, there will come a point when we reach diminishing returns for that from lack of bananas, but until that point, I think we stick with the strategy. Just trying to think about the most efficient way to get up there at this point, since we never got snake or anything. Yeah, when you're in the interiors, the maps can be a little bit finicky. Come back out. Climb. Yeah, we got less out of coming from this route than I thought, but if we go back and go to the egg bomb location, that might make more sense. Okay, let's not smash too much here. Oh, 9 already. You know what? Is there somewhere that we want to burn the warp? Within 9 seconds. Somewhere where using a warp right away would be useful. No, because when everything reloads, we might get more bananas around things like the Growtone or other things we haven't smashed. So it might be better to stay up here for a moment and just see what happens. We might even want to preemptively spawn something like the hide and seek location while we're just killing a couple of seconds. And then... yeah, because it's going to reload on 3. We really didn't need that single warp barrel after all, did we? Okay, so, oops, wrong button once again. Okay, so now this is getting you better inhaling. The important thing is that it's a banana at all, which means that we should sweep for it here. Now it's into 2 huts, and then... I'm trying to remember because we've had to figure this one out a couple times. And then there's one on top. Really need to get going with that punch power soon. Although the surf turf over water might also be critical, so we'll see. I haven't built any skills yet. Okay. Times 34 on a banana. That's looking interesting. We'll just keep stacking that. Because every single banana we take is giving us a good amount. Now, the thing is, I don't see this scaling up to 1 million, though. I feel like we have a bit of a one-note build at the moment that we will absolutely need to diversify, because otherwise we're not going to progress too much past that. High five Zebra. Yeah, we'll do it on the first one we pass. first, we'll go for this one. And just do a full banana sweep if we can. Okay. More banana slammer, or are we hitting diminishing returns with that yet? Well, no, we're still going for it. Eventually we want to focus on superior smash instead, I think, but... at the moment, we'll go snake. And then drum beats available right there. Yeah, so things are looking okay right now, but like it's going to hit a scaling problem at some point. We'll have to have an answer for that. Let's go Fossil Radar at this point because we'll need the additional perks, I think. I think the best thing to get at the moment will be actually better collecting. Punch power is good too, but we need this. So, yeah, we're so low on chips throughout this entire run, though. We just aren't being given chips. And, yeah, we'll just continue stacking bonuses or something. The fossil counts. Where it's available, anyway. We'll just, you know, hit every point we can. Hasn't been terribly strategic so far, but... look at that. Yeah, if we just try to max out Banana Slamma, then max out Superior Smasher, like maybe that makes a certain amount of sense, given that we're still just on wave 4. Let's just go for the drum beats. At this point, maybe we do start smashing some of the Boolean just to get ahead, but I feel like maybe we should like really build up that bonus first and then see where we're going on the map. Oh, we still have the high five of Zebra. We should do that. It's like, okay, let's keep going. And then... but again, I think the multiplier is going to run out of juice sooner or later, so... so, descriptive is, you're saying each month Nintendo designs a seed towards particular ends. Yeah. And, you know, being a random event, it is tuned to be easier in some ways because... you aren't at the mercy of the RNG. You can kind of see the intention behind the build that's showing off Cohere. Sometimes I think if people are newer to Emerald Rush, that seeing the possible combinations and being thrown out of their usual comfort zones can actually teach them more about the game and more things that they can build towards that they might not otherwise have considered. So yeah, these I think max out at 20. We've never built this up this much before, but we'll take it. And okay, Kong Bananas up here. We might want that just for the punching power at some point. We're at 14 seconds. It actually makes a certain amount of sense to warp here. And yeah, we've got so many fossils that we haven't even touched yet. You know, Kong Bonanza. We do have Snake in case we need to reach the high location, so I think we will actually go to the interior and get that. And then grab this fossil in the meantime. Let's take the warp. I mean, I played enough Emerald Rush that, you know, for me, these events have been... like, only in rare circumstances have they gotten ahead of what I have seen or collected myself in the course of standard play, but they have in the past. I think with the very first event, with the various mechanics for trading chips in for emeralds, etc., that came well before I unlocked it myself in the main game. Smash the emerald lumps, yeah, we'll get there. Let's go for Kong Bonanza here. Again, just in case we haven't really had too many bonuses that depend on having that available, but well, let's see what we can do. Again, I'm not seeing where the scaling up to 1 million is coming from yet. We might have some trouble with that. Oh, and also, this is not reaching. That's a problem. I just thought so confidently it was going to hit. Or do you need to build into Snake to do that? Jump burst. Better glare, better charge jump. Yeah, I thought I could just do the double jump here and get up there. Okay, that's a bit of a mess, because I thought I could just climb it. So I estimated that poorly, actually. But yeah, that throws off my plan here completely. What was I even going to do then? I'm trying to remember what the easier way is to reach that. We don't have a lot of time to inspect this before I, whoops, have to get out. Yeah, no, that's the one where you have to punch up through the eyes actually up top. But that's okay. It means that Snake can kind of go around. But I don't know if I want to bother with that. Okay, let's just forgo Kong for now. I just need to admit defeat on that one for a moment. At least we picked up the fossil up here, so it wasn't a total waste. Okay, got it. And then now we're going to continue to build Superior Smasher. We haven't spent much time in Bananas, and I've found that this has never stacked well for me. If we eventually see where those turnips are, maybe we can go for the turnip thing, but... like a true Animal Crossing player. But until then, we're going to stay on just sweeping as many clearly leveled bananas as we can, and then... yeah, that means also going for this one down here, which will also come with a fossil. Okay, good. And we'll give you a whole bunch. And we'll keep going with Superior Smasher. We might even pick up the turnip one at some point just to see if we can cash in on it, if we can eventually find out how to cash in on it. I just don't remember where the turnip is. It might be... oh, it might be in the lower layers, the parts where you... oh, Banana Slime actually stacks beyond 20. I've seen a lot of things max out at 20 in the past, so I am surprised by that, but we'll just keep going with it. Again, I think it might be a little bit one note here on our part, but... well, we've got time to potentially warp and just try to find a good cluster to sweep. We'll just try to do things that are easy to reach. And... yeah, we actually haven't really played much on the lower levels at all up to this point. Nothing at the sinkhole level at the moment. And I wonder if I'm right to mostly ignore the void goals here, since they don't seem very relevant to this strategy. Because there's nothing that we're building towards that is combat relevant, right? So... oh, this is... oh yeah, no. The placement of this tells me it's the escort. Which we do have the means to do. I mean, the banana reward at this point would definitely be worth it. I'm just trying to plan this out. I don't actually entirely remember what one needs to do in order to navigate the escort properly. Okay, let's consider alternatives. Yeah, some of these remaining bananas are the objective-based ones that we don't want to waste too much time on, so... cooling tower has one over there. Yeah, we want to find as many bananas as we can that we can just, you know, hit directly and collect immediately. But if we were to go for the hide and... not the hide and seek one, but the escort one over here... now would be probably the time to do it. Yeah, at some point we need to switch from bananas to Boolean. We're getting to the point where the diminishing returns will be a problem. Let me figure out where we were looking at on the map. I lost track of where that route was. It's here. Okay, yeah. So we come over here. Break some fossils along the way as well, I guess. And try to do the escort here quickly. I usually try to avoid that because it's just such a time sink. But to have them both available as bananas immediately would be beneficial. Also, yeah, now these bonuses are starting to rack up nicely, but again, not nicely enough to get us to 1 million. I feel like we're in for a big scaling problem sooner rather than later. Unless, oh, come on. Let's see where we're going here. Okay. Yeah, that wasted a lot of time. Hang on. Just trying to go for this fossil. Yeah, we might have overinvested a bit in Banana Slime, but we're going to start building a bit more towards Superior Smasher because we don't have enough bananas left, even with the reload that's going to come on 6. And yeah, we still have a full round to do this, so we're not on 6 yet, which is alright, so... Okay, so, the escort. I'm trying to remember how we do this. Do we just run with it? I think we do. It's actually one of the easier ones then. Oh, right, and the other one rotates. No wonder. Well, at least we'll get one. I don't know if we'll spend time on the other one, but we'll see. And we'll continue this. Yeah, maybe ignoring the group multipliers is a bad idea, but we just have had no opportunity to really get into Bonanza forms to apply the multipliers properly. When you go for some of the really big global multipliers, usually the thing you try to do... Oh, well, fried them. Usually the thing you try to do is chase the void goals as well, because then it allows you to apply the multiplier to the void goals globally, and so... But we haven't been pursuing that strategy at all, and at this point it's a little too late to switch gears towards that. Let's just keep going for what we're doing right now. And just have big multipliers everywhere. And try to get to the point where we can get some more Boolean going. Now, here, can we just punch in towards that? I think we can, but... You know what? No, let's just go Elephant and vacuum our way over. Elephant's so much better for actually picking up fossils. Well, we still have the next banana reload going, so Banana Slime is still good. But we don't want to overinvest in it. 3 levels in Superior Smasher, I think we take it for sure. Yeah, we need to remember to use Elephant for fossil collection, just to ease our way through it. Now, 59 seconds on this. We still have the 2 warps available. Let's see what else we can achieve on this layer. Might go for the heart. We have the ostrich snake combo, so we can just go for faster movement this way for this stuff. Forgot that we don't have much of a glide bonus going at all. Sure, let's just stick with it. Then... Yeah, this is actually not even a build banana, but well, at this point I think we just take all the ones we can see. It's just that after the next reload it's easier to see markers on any bananas that we have not collected, and so we don't need to deal with mapping them. Okay, let's figure this out. I'm gonna keep going on it. Yeah, again, I've always found the Encore group multiplier extremely weak, and we may just be underrating it for the purposes of this challenge, which I guess we'll find out how far off we are when it comes to the benchmark that we need to hit. Now, we don't have too much time remaining, 25 seconds before the reset, and so in terms of mapping out bananas, we better figure things out quickly. Now, we do have the warp. I think we just come out here and, you know, start using Elephant to crack stuff open. If we can. Elephant can grab a bunch of these, if I remember correctly.
Should we go there?
And yeah, we've got 2 barrels here. We'll just take the warp. Okay. Also, Elephant can break Boolean for us, which is similarly useful. More better collecting is good. And yeah, again, we're switching gears to Superior Smasher at this point, I think. Then we'll try to build towards the fossils here. And then just try to go for some of this stuff. And yeah, catch up a little bit on Superior Smasher since we're going to go for that. Now, I still don't see how we're going to escalate to the million. We don't have the multipliers for that. So currently that's a bit of an issue, but then given the reset here now, we now have a lot more banana mapping that has happened, and so we'll just keep going bananas. Or bananas. And yeah, we could just zebra over. Again, maybe it's a bit of misplay here to have largely ignored void goals, but we have a pretty focused strategy, and so we should go for it. However, it is a smash the Emerald Lumps objective, which at this point is actually going to cash in pretty well, I think. So we should go for Lumps objectives when we can. It's on the other side. Where am I? I'm over here. Yeah, and then this one is my elephant. We should actually just get it. We're facing in the right direction. Right, okay, and then let's just open up the path or something. What was it? Oh. Okay. Get the Boolean. Ooh, where's the banana, though? I don't even know where this one is. Hang on. We wasted so much time on this one. Oh, it's on the other side. Okay. Completely flubbed that. Just dove off the wrong side of the bridge. There it is. Wasted too much time. Okay. Do we need 3 barrels? Not as much as we need more smashing. So, okay, let's get out of the pit with a barrel. Oh, this is so close by, though. We can snake and ostrich it, but 35 seconds in a way, we've got 2 warps. Let's just use a warp. Let's just go for bananas. We know that there's going to be more on the top level because we've hardly hit things like the Grotone, etc. So we'll find our way in down here, I think. Yeah, that means going for the cave getaway, and then yeah, we'll just smash up all bananas we can.
Should we go there?
Okay, this is generally the right area. Let's grab that.
Skill back.
Yeah, that's not going to get me to 1 million. Like, we're missing the chance de resistance somewhere that's going to give me that high. Maybe it's that we needed the group multipliers after all, but I never see that percentage go high, so. But if we really commit to building to it from the beginning, then maybe things are a little bit different. It's just that we have so few chips to upgrade things like the Bonanza uptimes that I find that a little bit suspect. But yeah, basically we've been going for the banana strategy the whole time. We don't have enough synergies with it. And so it may be that we're way, way off this time. Usually I can at least get close to the objective on the first run, but we might just have picked a dubious strategy this time around. Yeah. Yeah, better collecting is absolutely great. Yeah. We can go for the Turf Surf multipliers, perhaps. They do tend to do well sometimes. If we need to redo this, which I kind of suspect we will. 15 seconds, we have a warp. So let's use it. And just find somewhere with a reasonable amount of banana density. Yeah, you got the spin jump by the crocodiles there. We got this one here. And then Grotone here. Okay, we'll just kind of sweep the board going this way.
Should we go there?
Where did it go? Where am I facing? Hang on. The keep. I have to stop hitting the wrong button on this. Oh, no. Hey, more chips. Imagine that. We haven't really been able to use. Why am I so far off my target? Okay. There's the Growtown. Not looking good right now, actually. We're too far off. I just don't see where that massive last round multiplier is going to come from.
You scored a skill.
We're at the point now where we do need to start smashing all the bullion we can, including some of the Crocoid stuff down here, which, with the aid of Elephant, we might be in slightly better shape. Yeah, maybe we just overstacked the banana perk with the few bananas remaining. I don't know. But I think we definitely hit a bit of a snag with this approach. However, this bit here is always nice. There's only +1 multiplier though. Oh yeah, because it's not from breaking the ore that's actually on the ground. Yeah, if we can figure out what to do with the turnip thing, then that looks like it might actually be a way to go for this, in terms of having something that will stack. Because you see nothing stacking with all the bullion that's actually just on the ground here. We just didn't have anything to build into that with. Not liking it. We are way, way off with this strategy. So the scaling just kind of fell off a cliff after a while, and so this approach doesn't really work. Yeah, so spin shot here. Go over here and head over. There's a lot of fossils we can grab on the way. Perhaps. Yeah, we should maybe multiply it with Turf Groove the next time we do this. Or yeah, we need some kind of multiplier. Like having 0 multiplier is the problem here. It's just that usually this doesn't stack. Turf Groove does stack well though, if you zip around with it just enough. But it's too late for it to be impactful at this point. It's just not going to matter. Yeah, because no matter how much we build Banana Slime out here, we just don't have enough bananas left on the board to get us 1,000,000. Let's just get some simple multipliers here, even though, again, it's too late for them to be impactful. Okay. Then... I don't think more warp barrels are going to help us at this point necessarily, but you know. Yeah, and then the fossils here. We need to find more bullion to smash, actually. That's maybe part of it. And maybe part of the issue here is that we haven't been going for enough void goals to spawn emerald lumps, because spawning lumps might actually be part of the solution here. So for example, if we just used warp here to try that out and see. Yeah, because we can't just ignore the goals completely, I think. It didn't look like they were going to be impactful, but everything here with random seeds is set up to potentially lead to a viable solution, right? And so we just need to figure out that combination. Because, like, how much do you get off this one? For instance, 1.1. Actually, that's not impactful at all, because the Superior Smasher does not apply to it. Okay. Oh, no. We're gonna take way too much damage here, and then... Okay, 101 on that at least. And then... Yeah, we're not getting a million off this road, though. That's no way. Okay. Well, we do have more bananas going on over here. Okay. Oh, come on. What? Just completely missing this. Okay. That was a bit of an embarrassing flow over there, but that's okay. Well, let's go for the turnip thing anyway. I mean, because we haven't picked it before, maybe we can just fill that in. Yeah, we're missing something definitely with using the turnips effectively, or just finding out where the turnips are. If we can sort that out, that might significantly improve whatever it is we're doing here. But we'll need to inspect the map pretty carefully for that. Or at least come across it coincidentally. And yeah, because, I mean, where are the turnips, right? Let's see. That's a pure map knowledge question in some ways. Anyway, at this point we can afford to just warp and warp. So let's think about this. I guess it is giving us more lumps objectives one after another, but again, I just do not see that being impactful.
Should we go there?
Oh, we missed that fossil that was staring at me prominently. Okay. Yeah, we're not getting enough off of this. Emerald roots or wooden containers. We just haven't been smashing enough of those. Now, we haven't actually been hunting containers so much. That's actually been lacking. And there's a bit of map knowledge going on with that as well, where it is true that we actually have not really made use of that perk simply from lack of containers. But yeah, you need to apply maybe a little bit different map knowledge than usual here to make this effective. Now we're at 50 seconds. We don't want to burn the warp too aggressively if we have other options at the moment that seem very viable, but I think we port back to the top and proceed from there to sweep some of what we were talking about. So, what were we looking at? We want the barrel. Where's the barrel heading up? It's right behind us, no? Or... no, this is just a hole we made. It's here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've got a round to go. We're nowhere near what we need. So, there's something strategically that we missed here. You can't just stack one thing. Like, you need to find a combination. So, we kind of learned that the hard way here. We'll go down below. Oh, it's down into the lower level. Yeah. It's inconvenient. It's okay, we'll go for the Managy over there. I'm gonna look for roots and boxes.
You scored a skill.
Yeah, because here, you know, even if you get 100 seconds off of this, for instance, that's okay, 40%, I guess. I mean, yeah, maybe we massively underrated the Encore Groove multiplier, and if we get a multiplier like that, like if we commit to either Encore or Turf Surf as the main multiplier that we want to use, we're clearly picking enough Emerald that we can just kind of continuously sustain having a Bonanza up and running. So that might be the thing that we're missing here. Also, I just completely overshot the charge jump here. Couldn't see it. Where even was that? Can't see it at all. Oh, it's to the left. Okay. Yeah, we're absolutely not going to make it. This is kind of a blown attempt for sure. Oh, come on.
Skill back.
And we just didn't find the boxes to make Superior Smasher useful. Like, we need to find more boxes for it. Actually, I'm actually thinking, we don't build into Superior Smasher at all. We invest in bananas like we've been doing, but plus one of the groups. And we do that. Then we get the multiplier that we get from the existing banana collection path that we're doing. Because we're massively underusing the bonus for roots and boxes, since we just found very few roots and boxes on the map. And maybe... Yeah, we don't really know what to do with it necessarily, but...
Should we go there?
Yeah, that's definitely, I think, the lapse here, is that we actually didn't know where to go to make effective use of it. Also, this was totally blown, because I thought we could reach the punch power thing, and I totally miscalculated the height that we would have here. So yeah, this did not go well. The worst we've done, actually. Usually we're within striking distance on the first try very easily, and it's okay. It just requires a bit of adjustment in mindset. Finally, we have some Boolean on the map, like some roots, rather. Yeah, at least we can get something going here. Even with the limited inhalation that we get off Elephant at the moment. Yeah, we do see roots on this path. Actually, roots on this path, like maybe... Well, let's see how impactful they are, but... Again, we needed to commit to that much earlier to know that that's the path we have to go for, and we need to improve the Elephant much earlier too, because otherwise you just run out of steam for this, and you don't get much going on when it comes to the roots collection. And yeah, we just got no multiplier off that. That was absolutely just a blown attempt here. Okay, that did not work out, but we got some ideas.
Did it! We're amazing!
But yeah, overcommitted to the bananas, didn't find a good multiplier to work with it. Clearly a couple of issues here, but if we can get some kind of times 10 off of everything, like we can get up to 1,000%, which would require, say, the Encore Groove multiplier with, you know, a couple rounds of uptime. Then, yeah, because by default, like, per stack of Encore Groove, you get 0.1% per second, right? Then for a 1,000% multiplier, you need 10,000 seconds, which you don't get. But then if you stack the Encore Groove, you stack it, like, say, 10 times. Then you can do that within 100 seconds, which is within the first few rounds, like within the first half or so. If you can do that within the first half, then when you collect bananas, then you get... Ideally, you get it up to about 1,000% multiplier, which I've never come close to on Encore Groove, but if we can do that and combine that with bananas rather than bothering at all with the Boolean, and then we already have Bonanza uptime going with Pauline's costume, which we hardly used this time around, then maybe we can do it. So, yeah, this did not go, but we had a bit of a one-note strategy that predictably failed, so... We don't even care about Bananium chips anymore because we have all of the Squawk statues. And the statues, incidentally, I always forget to pay attention to where these are going to be located. It is going to appear in the northeast. Okay, so way off, nowhere close, but we're just missing... yeah, we made a big mistake by not committing to global multipliers at all, because I thought early on the bananas by themselves would run out of juice, but we didn't see what other perks we were going to draw along the way, and we actually just never drew any kind of diversity of perks to improve on that. And we also never found out where those turnips were, so we do need to try again, but we will keep the current setup, and we'll go for a similar pattern, just with a different perk selection, and maybe go for fossils earlier so we can build up those bonuses and have a very clear routing for the fossil collection before it's too late. Alright, second attempt. So yeah, very much a loss to just bad strategy that time. And if we're not going to bother building towards the roots, we don't need to be too conservative about smashing them, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, again. So, I think we go for the same opening pattern, we just don't run into as much stuff this time. And we just need to select perks differently. We still want to maybe go for bananas early, but we need a multiplier going. And we need bananas going. Elephant and zebra are both good here as well. Elephant especially for things like fossil collection, so. Now, we don't have bonanzas yet, so obviously we will take bananas on the first, but we'll not massively overcommit to it in quite the same way. Because we need a multiplier to go with it as we're building. And so, yeah, Growtone next. Let's get up there. And also, yeah, the chip deficiency in this setup for the event is very noticeable. The thing is, if we don't care too much about what we're collecting... Well, let's see. Yeah, let's go Fossil Radar first. And then we'll definitely sweep for these two when we can. Actually, you know, here's the thing. If we're going for a banana strategy, we collected too many bananas too early. We actually want to go for more fossils earlier so we can get more perks. We switched to fossils too late last time as well, and that's another optimization we need to fix. We don't, again, want to overcommit to bananas just yet, but we will... Yeah, while you're ahead on quota on the first round, we go pure fossil, I think, and then start picking up things like the bananas that we need. Now, let's go for that fossil back there then, in that case. However, elephant helps collect fossils dramatically, and so we should keep that in mind. We don't have bonanzas yet, so I might even go Turf Groove for the moment, but... Yeah, if you get the maybe Turf and Encore multipliers in tandem, then as long as we just remember to surf everywhere, we might actually be okay. Alright, let's go for the basics. Just so we have something to work with here. Oh, that's not actually what we need. That's okay, we'll just skip it for a moment until we build up more multipliers. Yeah, we'll skip Superior Smasher, actually, because we smashed so few roots or containers over the course of the entire run last time that was pretty much completely wasted. And we'll go pure banana plus multipliers, and so they actually stack together properly and synergize. Then let's go for that fossil. We need to go for elephant in just a moment, but yeah. Once we go for elephant, we want to be pretty much as permanently in Bonanza as we can, perhaps, once we go for Encore Groove right now. Oh, hang on. Oh, a little bit of damage there. That was... Whoa, it's too much damage. Hang on. Before we take too much punishment here, let's get out Oh, those were some containers down below, some of those barrels. But anyway, let's get into Elephant, and let's start to vacuum a little bit. Yeah, because if we prioritize fossils, we stack sooner. So we'll stack both of those if we can. And then there are so few perks to pick from in this run in terms of the diversity of what we could possibly select, that if we pick 3 to really focus on, being Turf Multiplier, Encore Multiplier, and Banana Slammer, that might be enough to get us over the line, even with just a lot of incremental bonuses over time. And so that's the theory. And then we'll pick up enough emeralds on the way that we retain full uptime on Elephant and full energy. We still don't have chips, really, and that's something that we need to keep in mind as well. Yeah. Yeah. But with the Elephant, we can also turf surf much more successfully because we can just pull it out at any time. And so, yeah, we'll go for everything over here with the punch power. More containers there, too, that we totally ignored previously. Where was that banana anyway? Here it is. And yeah, we'll keep going banana for now because we got 2 levels on it, but we will build it with the grooves. Okay, we've got a couple of chips here at least. And then we'll see if we can get some of the fossils going. Yeah, you can just aim very approximately for fossils. That's the nice thing about going for that. And let's see, I thought we had another fossil going here. It's just down below. You know what? If we have the chips, we should improve the inhale range. Again, just to improve some of the missile pickups and the like. And well, we're not going for the barrels yet. We'll want one eventually. But we actually barely used barrels the last time because we weren't really often going for specific objectives. We were just, you know, collecting things on the map as much as we could. So let's go for bonuses first, I think. We will want 2 barrels for security, probably, but let's just, oh, not miss every jump. And then see what we can do up here. And then, yeah, probably. And then we don't flub this fossil collection this time as well. And keep going bananas since we're so early on in the collection. Oh, do we want... we need to think about whether we want to warp to the ostrich location, actually, at some point, because that could potentially be impactful. And then you got both of the fast charges up here. Ostrich location was just down below in town. So we can warp there before expiry and then just port back up. I don't even know where that fossil was that we were just trying to stare at. Oh, down below me. Yeah, no, that's way out of the way. We will burn the warp on Ostrich first. I think we can always warp back here afterwards. I think. If we can just grab like one fossil before I do that, that'd be great. Especially if it gives me a barrel, but we don't. Okay. Whoops, accidentally went zebra there. Wrong button. It's okay. Zebra will just let me speed over to Ostrich here. Yeah, just in case we need it for movement later. And again, we have a very clear concept in mind, at least this time. Now, what do we want to sweep down here before the banana reset? The thing is, you know, bananas are bananas. They'll still be available, obviously, but it's easier to locate them on the map when they are the bananas that are not empty. And so we should keep that in mind. But we can do a bit of a fossil sweep. Well, we can, unless we have a reason to come up immediately. Yeah, at some point, yeah, we can come up here and maybe just sweep all this from the top and collect all the fossils. We are only on one warp right now, but that's okay. We can kind of get back out of there afterwards. But we can just follow the whole route down and just pick up tons and tons of fossils and just clear this side for bonuses. That might be viable. Let's just do it. Okay. And again, we'll try to maintain Bonanza uptime the whole time. You see, we're already up to times 75 on this because we actually have multipliers going this time. With both Encore and Turf. And so yeah, because, you know, even at the end of the previous run with Banana Slime up in the 30s, we were capping out at about a times 100. I really ought to take a second barrel, but, you know, we're currently in this situation. We're going to continue going Encore for the time being, actually. And then we'll aim approximately for fossils. And unfortunately, we just don't have chips for improving that further. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a very narrow band of available perks in this challenge. Much narrower than usual, actually, for the challenges. In terms of the amount of choices that you're actually given, so... The builds are actually relatively constricted this time, and it's much more about the pathing, it seems. Okay. Look at that fossil. I would like to take the barrel, but I think we will go for the multiplier and risk it. Then dig a little further if we can to locate this here. There we go. Tunnel over. Yeah, over 112 already, so this is stacking up much nicer. Okay. Then... yeah, we're much earlier on fossils this time. That absolutely helps. And we use the radar to just go for fossils when we can. Now, Turf Groove has not been too impactful so far. I guess a 0.2 times 500 or so is, yeah, it's about a 10% bonus so far, right? Or, yeah, so it's okay. Yeah, let's go for the multipliers. And we want to space them out somewhat, but if we again have basically permanent uptime on the bananas, we might actually be in good shape. And then we'll go for fossils once again. And yeah, the emerald ore that we get just from general vacuuming is going to improve quite a bit here as well from what we're doing, as we're prioritizing fossils first. I do think we're on a much better pace than we were at last time, but that's just my estimate here. We're going to see if I want to burn my warp barrel in just a moment. It depends, because we're at the end of 3. It means that any bananas that we don't take now, we kind of have to memorize their locations as things that we have not yet obtained, or just come across them naturally. The perks themselves really don't matter too much. It's not really what's impactful. We know that on the next reroll that's when Snake and Kong become available, and that specifically Kong showing up here is what is going to be maybe the thing that we wish we could have reached last time and didn't. I don't know that we need to... Oh, we have no warp barrels anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we'll stay here until we see what the banana spawn pattern is going to be. Now, this is a little far away from some of these fossil locations, but we'll try to make it work. Actually, only about 100 away. Let's just push through. Okay. Yeah, a little low on the count now, but again, we just want the multiplier to really stack up. And then we'll take 2 levels here when we can. I think I'd estimated that we needed about the 1,000 seconds or something of out time. Which we won't necessarily get, but... Oh yeah, we know there's a banana down below, so we might as well just get it, even though we know it no longer contains a perk. Whoa, we're... Oh, we got 1 apple juice, so... It's okay. We're a little far down on health, but... Yeah, you see 232 on that. That's much better than what we had previously. Almost certainly we're going to take a hit and spend that apple juice, but... We'll just be careful when we get into things like the lava zones later. Unless we pick up apples along the way, which we haven't really been seeing on the terrain, so... Okay. Now, we're here. We're going to ports, I think, and go for Snake, Rotone, Hide and Seek, and just do a bit of a banana sweep because the bonuses are looking nice. Unless we want to really save the bonuses for later, but I want to do these while they're visible on the map. So we should actually just run over there now. And yeah, here. Okay. There we go. 250, very nice. Yeah, this is scaling better. Not good enough yet to get us to 1 million, but it is on a significantly better pace. That we're not wasting points on Superior Smasher and not using it. We've been underusing the Turf Groove, but that can be somewhat ameliorated, perhaps. And yeah, at this point when we see bananas, we'll just smash them. It doesn't make sense to, you know, go back and forth just when they have been indicated just to get perks. Although, usually when we play Emerald Rush, we don't go for too many of the clear bananas because the thing is, you don't want to get into a situation where after the rerolls of the perks, they all end up on the ones that are difficult to obtain. And so that's why we usually don't just slam these greedily the way I'm doing right now, but in this particular circumstance, I think we'll do things a bit differently. Also, what do we say about maximizing uptime? Let's do it. Yeah, and then, yeah, we know it's this one. This one, we at least have slightly better haps now when it comes to the Rotones and like. And then, there's one on top, right? Yeah, the thing is, because we haven't been going for specific things on the map, we generally haven't really cared about using the warp barrel, because we just clean up as much of the map as we see it. Now, The slam multiplier is going to be a little better than the turf group one at this point, I think. But the multipliers from things like the grooves now will also give us proper bonuses on things like the Boolean, and we will go for the drumbeat area next. We'll just do that quickly and see what we can do. So round 4 done. I haven't even been looking at our total because it honestly doesn't matter. But we're doing fine. We're actually at 100k already, which is... Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. Didn't mean to fall down the hole. That's okay. We'll grab a few things on the bottom and then go back up. Let's try to progress forward there. I didn't expect to come down here. That's okay. But yeah, we're actually already way ahead of pace on compared to what we were doing last time. And okay, let's try to get a fossil there from the lava. Out of juice here. Elephant. Come on. It's over here. I know it. Oh, nope. And there goes that apple juice. Just accidentally rolling into the lava this way. Yeah, and those bonuses are pretty meager now, but... let's see if we can get things like the bananas that are elephant dependent, lava clearance dependent. Yeah, 400 at this point. This is going so much better. Okay. Then 3 levels in Banana Slime, I think we take it. Yeah, Turf Groove, I have not really been stacking that well so far, but the maximum uptime on the bananas themselves is actually pretty easy to do. So, we actually feel on pace this time. Okay. Now, here we will maybe go for one more for that quick storage, perhaps. Yeah, it's down below. That's the beautiful thing about Elephant. You can just scan things on the radar and then you can just punch your way towards them or inhale towards them and everything will just go nicely. We should improve the inhale with our chips, actually, if we have enough at this point. 2 levels in a Turf Groove. 0.4 by 1,000. There's another 40%, I guess. This, though, 0.1 by 360. It's about 35%. Yeah, we'll go for this. This is a better immediate gain. Even though, in the long run, the uptime on Bonanzas might scale better. And yeah, we went for fossils too late last time, for sure. And so this has been a pretty big fix, strategically speaking. That's a big bonus for Turf Groove. We'll absolutely take it. Oh, here are the turnips. Finally, we know where they are. Well, for future strategic purposes, the turnips are here in this whole patch. So we'll save them for when we actually eventually have some reason to pick up the turnip bonus. But yeah, okay, at 200k at this point in round 5, we look like we should be on pace, depending on how we cleared the remaining bananas. Now, of course, I fell down here accidentally, and we meant to go back up to continue what I was doing, but while we're here, let's see about some of the fossils, and just tunnel our way down. And again, I need to remember... yeah, at this point we want that barrel. Even though we only get 1 level off of it on a big fossil, which is usually wasteful, but the barrel is important enough that we should take it at this point. Okay. Let's go for that. Then more fossils available. Back here. What do we say? Oh, also there's the little chip thing, the whatever it's called. There's a thing that spawns chips. Yeah, look at how few chips we have, just in general. Just very, very few. But we already have 2 levels and better in healing because it's something I collected along the way, in fact, so that's probably okay. So we might even just go stronger lungs, or maybe even more better collecting, although we have been inhaling generally, so that might not be too much of an issue. Actually, the turf surf across water might have been a better idea for all kinds of things we could use it for, but that's maybe something we'll consider. At this point, do I want to tunnel for fossils, or do I want to clear bananas while we have them mapped out on 6? Well, there are a lot of bananas to take out down here. And I don't know if we wanted anything specific up here, but we'll just have to remember to sweep into the caverns. Well, here, yeah, we should do this while we know we'll get perks, actually, since we have 2 barrels.
Should we go there?
Let's just get out. And try to collect what we can before 6 is over. There's 70 seconds on it, but... Oh, come on. Almost the same mistake. Exactly the same mistake where we just fall into the pit. Okay. Yeah, times 800 at this point. So much better. Imagine that actually stacking things with multipliers. Turns out it's a winning strategy. Instead of just flat out ignoring it, thinking we'd draw something better last time. Nope. Just need to have a very, very focused build, as we typically find. Okay. Come on. Oh, we have a snake. We could have just gone for that. Oh well. Oh. Okay, that was embarrassing. Jumped off the wrong side of the rope. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Now, I don't know if we'll get a million yet necessarily, but we have a couple of rounds to go. And we are at about a third of the way. So as long as we keep working on the multipliers, we may actually have a shot. Let's go down for that one. Oh, let's not fall into the ice. And then getting that up to times 900 at this point is nice. Significant boost on turf groove, despite our lack of turf. However, if we grab the turnip one at this point, we do know where the turnips are, so that could actually be impactful. Although there are just 3 turnips there, well, let's stay on our strategy for now. Like, maybe that's a bit of a late boost that we can get if we are out of ideas. Okay. Now, let's think about it. We do have warp available. We do want to clear bananas. Well, we can. Oh yeah, this area here is for the bananas off these 2. We can go for that. That's not hard. At this point, that's actually going to be impactful. Also, there's this one here. Yeah, we'll just have to remember that's still available, even if we don't wind up going for it. Yeah, lots of fossils in this area. We should actually go for this then. It's a somewhat dense net area with 20 seconds remaining. We would benefit from doing so. And yeah, lots available over here as well. So we'll go to the lower level because it makes sense to burn a warp on that. And just wrap around here for a banana. This was what we previously went for with ostrich as well.
Should we go there?
And snake. We otherwise haven't actually used. Oh, and there's one over here as well, but there's no perk on it at the moment, so we'll know what? Oh. Oh, come on. No. Whoops. Oh, come on. Okay, we're in big trouble. Okay, we lost a whole bunch there because I fell. And we got no warp, so I'm actually in big trouble. Okay, that was bad. We actually lost a huge chunk there. Massive chunk there, actually, that we just lost from damage. Yeah, absolutely massive chunk that we lost from damage there. That's awful. Okay, we just missed a little jump combo. There we go. Okay. Just failed to execute it because we landed too low on a snake. Okay, at least we know where the bananas are. We can... Yeah, we got that back quickly, actually. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. And then we'll grab that one. Okay. And then, again, we... No fossils available. At this point, well, 2 levels in Turf Groove, we'll get that. Even though we haven't been turfing too much lately. Yeah, down here is going to be the little tone, or rather, escort interaction. Oh, almost flipped that. That's okay, we will go for fossils. Oh, dug too low here, too close to lava. Okay. Good. We'll dig our way up. And then, what are we looking at here? More bananas. That's great. Let's get uptime going again. And yeah, our bonus has improved by quite a bit now. Even just over the course of the last few fossils. And then we can up over that one. Yeah, it's not challenge based, so we can just do it quickly. Imagine that the last time we were here, we only managed to stack our bonuses up to about 100%, and now we're actually playing this game properly. At this point, we probably want to use the warp, unless we want to go for this fossil here first. Can we? Okay, now we warp up to a fossil location. This time, let's not go the wrong way for this one here if we are going for it. Which we should, because there are a few different bananas that are all stacked here. I feel like we will be pretty securely over the line at this point. We're on pace. Unless we fall into the lava repeatedly again. The way we just did. That's... Yeah, Turf Groove has not really been stacking for us, but we have enough of it that is impactful as a multiplier. And so, yeah, it looks at round 7, we will be on pace. Yeah, should have just played this way to begin with instead of doing something so one-dimensional and non-multiplying last time. It's quick to process mentally too. Like, we have such a clear game plan at this point for what we're doing that I don't really even have to think about what we're picking. We just pick it and go. Three barrels, we don't need it, but you know what? Actually, this is exactly the kind of situation where we're comfortable taking turnip greens. Because we know where the turnips are, and we will not take the turnips yet, but if we are fortunate enough to really stack that even further from exhausting other choices, then we know that we can return to the turnip patch here, and that will be how we continue. So let's see where we'll go from this point. We do have 2 warps available still, and we've swept most of this area for visible fossils and bananas, but I wonder if there were other bananas we skipped here earlier. However, never mind that. We know we've got tons of stuff going on up here, and so we'll actually just take this gateway and then punch through here, I think. Do everything down in that level. Maybe, or even start here and go for the flutter. No, we'll start here. Okay. Every banana at this point is getting us pretty far. So, for example, we're at 1,000,000 now in the bank, and then after picking up this one, yeah, then we get about 100k per banana at this point, which is what we were hoping for to begin with. We'll just keep going with the elephants. Oop, run. I want to improve the inhalation just a little bit more as far as perks go. But we actually have that, well, about as good as we're going to get it at this point. So we might even just go either punch power or better collecting. We'll see. We haven't really been building into the turf surf, but we don't need it at this point. We're over the line, so. Now we can either go up towards the spin shot or back towards the better flutter. I think we'll go better flutter. And yeah, even just a lot of the ordinary terrain here is starting to let us cash in a bit. Okay. Now, do we want more barrels? I don't think we need it. We'll just go for this. Then Snake can actually get us up to the spin shot location pretty nicely. We should keep that in mind. I often forget to kind of use Snake as a navigational tool, because you get it so late in the main game that unless you're playing a lot of Emerald Rush, you don't think of a lot of places as Snake shortcuts, even though in this mode they absolutely are. Okay, now, yeah, this is the stuff that's underneath somewhere. We necessarily go for that. I think at this point we haven't even tunneled in here yet, have we? Or, well, we haven't gone very deep in it. We can go down to the Crocoid location, sweep these two. Try not to fall into the hole. I mean, we have a barrel remaining with 12 seconds, so we might as well spin to warp, even if it's over a tiny distance. Actually, make a certain amount of sense to take this one, grab this fossil and this one while they're far off, and then we can just make it back across.
Should we go there?
Okay. Okay. Now... Oh no, that's the one. Okay, no, that's fine. This is an easy objective. We can just take it. This is a really simple one, actually. As long as we don't slip on the ice every single time. And lose all our cash from damage. It's an important caveat here. Okay. Yeah, that's only a diversion of a few seconds. It's not too bad. get a nice fat multiplier on that as well. Okay, so... okay, we do have warps, but we can take the fossil road. I also know there's one up here, usually... like an empty banana at this point that we have not touched at all over this run, I think, so we'll check the little challenge room location here first, because I believe, yeah, there it is. Just a little one, but, you know, which one matters at this point. And then we might as well just zebra over at this point, actually. Here are some more of those boxes. Yeah, this thing is, I just didn't know enough about box locations. I didn't have to really go for any of that stuff. With the boxes and roots build that we got 0 use out of last time. At this point, we should turf surf over to the different locations and just blow them up accordingly. We want to actually hit a void goal for once. I think it's almost a waste of time at this point, but... okay. Okay. Okay, now we go over some of this stuff. Giving over 3,000 a bonus at this point. Yeah, and the bonuses, you know, as opposed to the 1% last time. We now see that with the global bonuses from Turf Groove and from Encore Groove that we're getting the 30% even just on Ordinary Collection that has no other bonuses applied. So that gives you a sense of how impactful that has turned out to be. We have 2 warps available with a lot of time remaining here. I mean, we can hit anything we like, really, and with that kind of flexibility. Going for the full getaway. I don't remember what the access to this one is like. And of course, there are a lot of bananas that we missed that are no longer marked back when they were objectives, and so we should keep that in mind as well. I mean, we only have the 1 round to go after this, so we'll just clean up everything we are actually aware of. We knew there was a bunch around here, for instance. That there's the usual bit with this getaway up here that we can maybe, yeah, take this one, take this banana, go down, take this banana. Might be worthwhile. Let's just do it, I guess. We can mess around at this point. We have lots of flexibility. And then, yeah, a lot of 2-level bonuses at this point and a bunch of this stuff. Let's do this.
Nicely done.
Okay. Now we dive down below to take out bananas on this island, which are plentiful. Missed it. Thought I could just ground pound that thing and be done with it, but our aim needed a little bit of work. Turf Groove actually isn't what we should have taken at this point. That's okay. Oh yeah, this is the one that we had trouble reaching previously because I took out too much ground underneath, but luckily we now know that Snake is the solution. Let's actually remember to collect the ore. Here we go, and then there are more fossils to tunnel to on the other side. And sure. Again, with only the level 2 under turnips, we don't know how impactful that is at this point, but Might be interesting to see those just to see what the bonus is if we want to get to that point, but let's see what this fossil here first. And yeah, percentages are percentage. We'll take that. More boxes. Yeah, boxes are not visible enough to really be a viable strategy, I think, unless you know exactly where you want to go. Okay, we have warps available. We should actually try out the turnip patch just to see how good it actually is even at low bonuses. Because I'm curious.
Should we go there?
Sure, we've got time and warps to burn. Let's just do it. Okay. So, yeah, at this point, you know, even at low bonuses, you get 400% or so onto turnips. That's actually not bad. If you really, really build towards turnips and you just leave this patch for last and you know that it's coming, then it's actually a very viable road. By the looks of it. Yeah. Did we get all the bananas here earlier? I don't even know. But oh, I know what we can do is we can go for the one that's on the lower layer. The one that's down below, if we can find a way to it. Yeah, here. Let's see if we can do this one on time. 4,000 bonus in that. That'll be the last one we get, so let's just collect. And that will be well over the line. So much better than that anemic first try. Okay. Much, much better. And we'll take a shot here and we'll look over the perks that we ended up getting in terms of how much we leveled them. This ended up being about a 0.6 by 1200. And so, what is that? About 2, that would be, yeah, I mean, you know, 0.6 by about 1,000 is about 600%. So this winds up about being 700 to 800%. This one, as I thought, we wanted to aim for something like 1,000 seconds of uptime or so, and this actually ended up stacking up more nicely than I expected, and I think it wound up being the most impactful thing here because it did get us up to about a 3,000% multiplier, which is what we're going for. Banana Slammer ended up about the same as the last time anyway, so this time we just benefited from never bothering to build towards roots and boxes because that was completely a red herring last time that benefited us not at all, really. Unless you know box locations, you don't hunt for that. Now, turnips, if you know the location and you build towards that and you just cash in on that in round 10, I can absolutely see that being viable if you know what you're doing. But I think you have to really kind of know how this challenge is set up to go for that. But I can see that being big. And yeah, barrels we hardly ever used up to 2, but it was nice to have that as insurance. And yeah, just a very, very tight focused build, but from a pool of very few options. So, and we largely didn't even really build skills. Enemies defeated, 4. Goals achieved, 0. I don't think we've ever seen a completion with numbers that low, actually, because it's... in a standard mode, you know, you never have enough certitude or determinism about where the rolls are going to go for completely ignoring enemies and goals to ever be viable, right? Like, you always kind of have that to have that as insurance in your back pocket. But here, yeah, we just completely ignored it, and it was fine. So that's going to get us well over the line. And more bananium chips we don't need. And Lord Frederick is also there, so. Okay. Could have been worse. Quitting time? Yeah. But we're going to do a little more Emerald Rush today with the event completed. Every time that we have come in for the challenges, we've finished on either 1 or 2 attempts, and usually we fill the rest of the stream by pushing an additional layer on level 5, which is what we've been steadily working on clearing out. We did clear DK Island on level 7. We had a couple of failed attempts to clear Lagoon on level 7. And then that's when I realized, okay, no, you actually kind of want to sweep Breath first and work your way up slowly, because the way that the game rewards you for having good streaks when you're still filling in the Void Company card, it's much more point efficient to kind of work your way up the difficulty ladder instead of pushing for level 7 right away. So, let's take a look at the Northeast Island. Where is the Northeast? Does this count as Northeast? Yeah.
Should we teleport?
Let's teleport there. And yeah, this is starting to fill out a little bit. We've got a lot of space here still, but we have the Jungle Beat characters, we have the Tropical Freeze characters. At some point, I'm sure we'll get Donkey Kong Country Returns with Tiki Tong, probably, and maybe Professor Chops or somebody who's significant enough. Now, it is already known via the Japanese news release what the next challenge will be. The next one will be on the Forest Lair, and it will be with Ostrich Bonanza and Espresso from DKC1 as the rewards. And so, just like how last month we scouted ahead to Freezer to just kind of understand what the navigational problems would be prior to coming into it this week, I think the sensible thing is to attempt Forest on 5, which we haven't done. And we'll see how we do. There's enough mud there that I think we actually still want to keep the snow and mud setup that we have here. And also Pauline's across-the-board Bonanza bonus, because we don't know what necessarily we'll be building into, and for all we know, we might not be taking Ostrich at all on that layer. So let's progress through the point card a little bit more today. Yeah, we'll keep the costume. So, like I was saying previously, on DK Island, we finished everything, hence the Emerald Medal. On most of these, Lagoon, Hilltop, we got up to 5. Canyon, we haven't done yet, I think. Yeah, Canyon, we have not done 5. But all of the ones for the events. So, Lagoon, Hilltop, Freezer, and Resort and Landfill, we've done those up to 5. The other ones we've cleared up to 4. So we'll gradually work our way up. Yeah, we haven't done Feast up to 5 yet either. So Forest will be the one that we prioritize, just, you know, to do a little sanity check for what the navigational problems are going to be prior to next month's event, by which time I'll probably forget most of what we've learned anyway. And then if we do well with that, then we'll see what else we have time for. But it usually takes, I think, 1 or 2 attempts to get sorted out, and then so doing 1 clear here might be what we stay for today, especially because we did have to do 2 tries for the challenge event itself. So let's take Forest and 5 with our current setup and see how we fare. And it'll be nice to get back into the 15-round format again, because, you know, once you start playing it, you realize, okay, this game is very much designed for a 15-round pace rather than 10. 10 feels very abbreviated now every time I go back to it for the monthly challenges. Now, there are a lot of perks that we've unlocked since last time that we have not seen in action yet, so we'll see some new material perhaps this time, some things that we don't know how to make use of just yet. And we're going to spawn in on 601 this time. And we have bananas directly ahead of us, which... Well, let's look at the map first and let's see how we're going to build. So, notice, first round, no bonanzas. No bonanzas at all. For the first 5 rounds. Which, if you pick up Bonanza, is great. That is actually amazing if we get Bonanza, because we know that we're going to have to go Bonanza free for that long. But it does mean that we need to be sensitive to some of the navigational challenges of doing this with no ostrich, which, well, you need to know how to do that anyway if you're playing Emerald Rush. So we'll weave through the level and just hit what we can and see what kind of build we get, but obviously we cannot really take anything that's Bonanza dependent, knowing that we have no access to Bonanzas at all for the first third of this run. Impactful punches. That's interesting. But we don't have charge punches yet, so yeah, we actually want 2 barrels immediately. It's too important on this layer. Okay. And then we have no ostrich to get around the thorns here, but we can just climb around the side and maybe sweep some fossils along the way. Okay. Then grab some chips, maybe. Then we have barrels here. Yeah, we'll go for whichever things we see here. I mean, I don't know fossil locations on this layer well enough by heart to really be going for that right away. But we can be reasonably confident about the round 1 quota anyway. Let's leave that banana for now because it's an easy one to get. However, we have access to the massive fossil here, which we should actually excavate. If I can remember how to do it, loosen it up, come on. Here we go. Yeah, because that gives you something pretty fast here. Except all of this is bonanza dependent, and we might be running a little tight here to re-roll, because like we have no bonanzas, we can't use any of this in the first few rounds, so we have to re-roll, I think. And we'll just need to make sure that we get back over the line for the quota before too long. Meteor Rain, again, that's dependent. Turnip greens. Now there are a lot of turnips on this map. I don't know if that might also... You know what? Birmingham Bananergy is good because if we don't have bonanzas, we know the Bananergy is going to be full. It is just enemy dependent, that's all. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There's a turnip right here. We could have just gone turnip greens like right now and that would have been amazing, but oh well, that's okay. The more you know. Pristine Primate is new. For a limited number of times, defeating an enemy until DK takes damage. I don't know that I'm going to be precise enough to take it. Yeah, well, we don't have enough combat or scaling going on at this point. I do want to take us at some point because we need to fill in that one on the card, but for now I think we need to be a little more cautious. Let's, particularly because we've got 30 seconds, we're not over quota right now because we have not been finishing up the collection here to make up for the reroll that we had moments ago. Gold champ. What even was our current objective? Stompoids. Stompoid, that's way out of the way though, that's on 600. I don't know if we'll get there quickly enough for Green Scene to matter. I guess we do have warp barrels now. That's important, because then we can warp and fight them. For the 400. I actually like that idea then. We have 20 seconds, so rather than continuing here, unless we go over that. Yeah, rather than continuing here, we should actually warp up and take them out now for Green Scene. Then we can go for the heart after.
Should we go there?
We need to take them out quickly. Otherwise, we're not even over the first quota. Yeah, we're running a terrible risk here in some ways, unless we really... Yeah, getting slightly over quota. And yeah, we took damage already, you see, which kind of tells you that taking Pristine was going to be a bad idea. We want Fossil Radar for this. Once we get chips going, we might even want to start blocking a lot of Bonanza-related things. If we get Bonanza, that would be ideal, but I just don't know if we will be so fortunate at this point. It obviously synergizes very well with everything going on here, but... Yeah. Okay. Now, we do have the perk for the chests. We should break boxes and roots when we can. And... if we're sufficiently over quota, we should actually go for fossils now first before we do too much. Fossil on this guy, let's just knock him out a bit. Okay, here we go. Turf Groove, Healthy Hearts. We're not particularly healthy at the moment. Let's just go Turf Groove, because then we can get some multipliers going. If we remember Turf Surf, that is. Then, yeah, we want more combat while we still have Green Scene going. I am, as you can see, definitely not at full health, so... Okay, however, just stacking up nicely as an early start. And then we need to also start thinking about how we're building with the chips, but let's go for the health. And, okay. We've got ample room to hoard some things before we get into too many issues. It's kind of tempting to go for a turnip build, actually, since we now know what it is. But again, it's one of those where you kind of want to stack it really high and take a bit of a risk with it, and then pull out that finite number of turnips at the end of the run. I don't know if we really want to take that risk at the moment. But none of these choices are all that appealing at the moment. So, I mean, eventually we'll get balloons, perhaps, when we build towards treasure. You know what? Let's go for turnip greens. Why not? We can have that as insurance if we are in a bad situation. And the thing is, it's better on this layer than it is on most, in terms of just having things to pull out of the ground. And Yeah, we don't have Break Blast. Let's see. Yeah, I don't trust that we can stay on Healthy Heart, but we'll go for this. Because we don't even qualify for it right now. We can go for fossils down here. Let's punch that out. We want punch power. Hang on. It's gonna bother me all day otherwise. There we go. Green Geysers. Swirl Forager. No, we don't have Spin Slam. Yeah, we don't want to use Chips to block just yet because we don't exactly know what we'll draw after round 5. And Bonanza is nowhere in sight at the moment, so... None of these are very synergistic at the moment, but... And yeah, Melon Juice, unless we have the Melon Hoarder bonus, it's not going to be useful for us if we're not using energy anyway, so... Let's just go for something that will immediately benefit me at the moment. And we will see where to continue. Now, we do have 2 warps available at the moment, so let's just try to continue somewhere sensible. Maybe at the next Void goal for Stompoids. So we can at least get that done for the gold bonus, and then we can take that in conjunction with some of the fossils.
Should we go there?
And at this position, it's easy to take the warp barrel back up to the top level as well, so we'll do that. Get shops going here. We're over quota. We're not going to be too concerned. Yeah, long range I've never really been able to get much use out of, but since we don't have bonanzas, we kind of have to take it. Okay, let's punch them somewhere where I can actually loot them. Which has been a bit of an issue. Oh, we have boxes down there too. And then, oh. Oh, I see. It froze me because I'm still looting perks. Now, I don't know what the next objective is yet. We're not seeing it yet, so I don't know if it'll be combat. However, Turf Surf, defeating them with Turf Surf is something that's a little bit difficult to set up, I find. In the past, we've had some issues with actually getting a trigger, especially with things that take multiple hits, like the Stompoids, but yeah, and we don't get a combat objective here anyway, but, oh, that's an ostrich. We can sneak behind here for these fossils, which is going to be at least somewhat helpful. We want to go 3 barrels? I mean, it's a pretty complicated layer. It might actually be helpful. Even though, yeah, Batter Up Beat might be good. We don't have Surf yet, but we'll just try to remember to hit things with Batter Up. I find that sometimes you need to play a bit risky to get in close enough for that, but we have 3 warp barrels. We can just warp to goals and try to go for a more concrete goal-based strategy at this point. It is possible. Let's not warp too far out if we're doing that. To get here, though, we would need to work our way down through the hotel, which is... yeah, it's a little out of the way for us at the moment. Unless we dive down to the lower level from top here, which we also don't have a good way to do. We start here, we roll over, we roll down. Roll over, grab fossils, roll down. That might be the best way to do it.
Should we go there?
Yeah, let's just go for goals for now, actually. Let's... and... see if we can actually get some things done here. Particularly because we do have some roots and the like. Oh, that's the fossil. Okay. It's fine. We can hit that. Hang time, charge. Yeah, none of this is really synergistic at all right now. But hang time at least is, you know, theoretically doable. Yeah, we need to remember to actually whack those guys with blocks. Alright, so let me think about this. We want to go down. 2 lumps. And that gets us over. Okay, so at this point, we can kind of go fossils on this layer here. Yeah, they're right here, so go for that. We'll go for anything that's not Bonanza dependent at this point, actually, because we just don't even know what we're going to draw at round 5. So, yeah. Now, we have some more chips for at least getting something done. Might even go punch power at this point because we have no Bonanzas to help us out. We really need to stick to the first 3 columns here. And oh yeah, we still have a turf surf bonus that we should take at some point, but let's wait until we get some more stuff going first. Nothing else going on really on this layer, but we still have warps, so let's just continue to sweep for more bonuses and bananas where we can. And a lot of the bonuses will just not be relevant to us at the moment. At the very least, we can go for some bananas and for what we can. So, banana G in a central location here, down below. Let me think about this. We should see better sonar over here. That's pretty easily reachable, maybe. Yeah, everything's looking a bit barren. We should continue to go for objectives, actually. Because we have some goal stacking at this point. We should go for that while we still have the warps to pursue that and just continue to roll those. Over here. Now, we need to remember to defeat with turf. That's vital here. Slow-mo, we don't have snake, we don't have elephant. We'll go gold champ still. Yeah, and then... oh, that Munchoid going here. Let's go for Fossil. Bare Knuckle, I mean, you know, in the event that we forget that we are supposed to whack them with fisticuffs, then sure, I guess we should take that. Defeat Stompoise but Big Tree. We should spend a warp on getting up there, though. So, yeah, Big Tree getaway. Rather than going that way, we should go with this warp and roll over. It'll be faster.
Should we go there?
Okay. We're technically overquoted, but not really on pace as such. We better jump over. Yeah, because we want to be, you know, usually a full round ahead with quota to feel secure. But again, we just naturally a little bit limited here by the fact that we have no Bonanzas to work with and no Bonanza to compensate for that, so. Yeah, Encore Group is obviously useless here. We might even just flat out block it, actually, because we have no time to hoard it at this point. Balloon Hoarder, we have a balloon. So that's finally something. Smash some mud. Mud's down below. Now we can go down patiently to take out fossils on the way there, perhaps instead of warping, unless we want to warp so we can hit bananas instead. But no, we should go for the fossil route. Okay, so that means across. And I mean, we have that stacking with balloons, we just don't have any treasure chests at this point. 16 by 5. Yeah, no, let's continue to stack Old Champ because we actually can play it. Now, that was not where I intended to go, but we'll take it. Are we close to the mud? Mud was over here. Yeah, we'll try to weave our way through some fossils on the way there, but it's not really looking great right now. We have a lot that we need to clean up here before we get what we need. We have slight bonuses here. Now, where was that mud? It is... I thought we had just passed it. It's all the way over here. Okay. In that case, let's go for that energy. Just down below. We are not over quota at the moment. We really need to shape this up quickly. Because we're actually not even going to win at this point. Let's see. None of this is good. Do we risk the refresh? I think we do, actually. None of this is good. Yeah, we just have no way to use any of that, so we'll just go barrel, I guess, and try to warp to things that we can pick up quickly. And yeah, the mud slamming thing is not going to be fast enough, but we need to greedily slam some bananas to at least get something. And go for the Boolean over here, actually. Defeating an enemy for per champ. Yeah, that's at least somewhat viable. Yeah, we are in trouble, but just smash everything we can. And then... oh, let's go to turnip, actually. If we don't get smashed, we are getting smashed. Say about a turnip? Nope, unfortunately not. I was seconds away from that. It looked like I was actually going to do it for a moment. Okay, so we had some issues with direction at times simply because we had no bonanzas available, and so a lot of things that we could have picked were not relevant at all, and so this was an absolutely dreadful run. Worst we've done in a long time, actually, which is going to drag down the average quite a bit. If I had actually successfully done that turnip at the end, we might have been able to get over the line, but that was a very last-minute decision, so... yeah, that did not go well, but... and look at that, just a dreadful rating, which will drag down the next few rewards. Let's try it again. Well, we didn't really have a coherent build come together. Okay, let's just tap the first banana here and we'll see what we're looking at. First of all, let's inspect. Okay, snake is available this time, at least. And then elephant is always great, so we'll go for elephants. Zebra is available. This is like the opposite of the last one. We actually have 4 out of 5 bonanzas available in the first 5 rounds, so we actually have some choices. Ostrich is really pretty important for this layer, so we will have to strongly consider it. But elephant is always wonderful, so I want to go for that. So let's just see what we're going to pick up here first. Jump shots. And then, yeah, Banana Slamming nice and early, as we know from the event, is actually a pretty solid choice, just to, you know, make sure we stay over quota in the early stages. So, do we want to just port upstairs to here? Well, we only have one warp available. Yes, because then that will send us up to the top of the hotel, and that could get us up to Elephant. So, let's actually take the port. That barrel, rather. And then we want to go to the hotel side if we can maybe smash some of this. I mean, you know, better to save it for later perhaps, but we'll just try to have the flexibility to stay over quota. And the objective here is to get up the shell for elephants, because we need it. Two barrels, yeah. I have not generally had much success with Zebra builds, but I find Zebra is actually kind of hard to play effectively. Banana-G down there, we can go for that. We'll eventually need to start going for some fossils around here as well. Just thinking about a good path to pursue here. I think the fact that we see Banana-G down there. Smash some eggshell? Oh yeah, we can do that. What is eggshell, right? Wait, hang on. We have elephant. We can just do this right away. That's why we get things like elephant. Now, Skill Champ's going to get up here nicely. Energy with elephant kind of stacks on itself quite nicely though, so we'll go for this. We don't quite know what we're building towards yet, but it's too early to tell. And then, oh, gotta fall into this one. There we go. Kick and beat. I barely know how to use Brick Blast effectively in terms of aiming it with Zebra, so even though the 3 levels for that is most effective, we probably won't get too much use out of it. Unless I'm building very specifically towards it. Yeah, too many thorns around here. We can't really even turf surf effectively over there, so we should actually consider warping to this location to hit the objective and then collect Ostrich while we're doing that loop.
Should we go there?
I like that plan. Okay, so, this way. Yeah. Chip Thief. We're very early on. If we really go for an enemy-based strategy, that could actually pay off quite nicely. And we're getting some enemy objectives, so it's alright. Storage Groove is going to be very nice, actually, since we have Elephant up and running now. Indeed, that actually tells us we should be getting Trunk Room right away. We start firing away with it. to just, you know, have some... Whoa. Let's blind up poison. Okay. Oh. A bit of a risky situation here. Oh yeah, we've missed that Munchoid. It was awful. Need some apple replenishment soon. Penunza, too late for that, unfortunately. We have to block it. That's what we needed last time. Actually, none of this is that good for us right now. We can take Kong Forger just in case, but we don't really have Kong right now. Actually, I'm just going to reroll this one. And go for some enemy-based ones, because there are Buzzoids out on the field naturally in this map, and so, you know, even if you don't have the objective for that, it's still potentially useful. Okay, we can go for fossils here. And yeah, we also have Munchoids out on the map, but I don't know if we want to mess with them too much. So we don't tend to get them as objectives. Surf is not what we need, but we'll go Typhoon and just go very open heavy if we can. Now, if only we had Snake here to get up on top. At least, yeah. Oh, whoops. Oh, we got hit by the Munchoid. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and that's a really steely one, too. That was a big problem. However, yeah, we actually have so much access to Buzzoids in this level that it might actually be pretty advantageous to just pick fights with them, regardless of void goals or anything else. We want Ostrich. We just need to get it. There we go. Nice accessible location for once. Sure, let's go chips, and then, yeah, look at that. Let's still go for these guys. They respawn so quickly, and so... Oh, Snow in the poison. Straight in the poison. Oh, we should have warped out of here before the countdown, but that's okay. We'll stay on course. Not a very coherent build so far, but we'll try to go for at least some of the things like the Rotone thing up here. See what we can get out of that. Now, 23 right now, we can go maybe better inhaling. Quick storage might actually be good, given that we're building with that elephant bonus, but right now the lack of punch power is a bit slightly an issue, but elephant gets around it somewhat. And yeah, the Buzzoids are back already. Amazing. We have that Ostrich, yes, we do. So let's go here and pick this up now. Just get it out of the way. Slow-mo's not relevant to us yet without Snake. Okay. Okay, we'll just whack these guys whenever we want. We want more bonuses before we, you know, kind of stall with that strategy, but at least we know it's available. We want it now. Okay. Now, we do still have 2 warps available. Let's get into a position where we can actually fight things. Defeat Stump Boys, we'll do it, and then clean up bananas in this area. Yeah, we want to have Elephant going while we're doing this as well. And with Elephant, it'll be much easier to get the big fossils as well behind us. Let's go apple order, because we're potentially going to build towards treasure chests and such, so... Okay, that's stacking up nicely. Turf Groove is good with Elephant. Yeah, well, I'll do it. I mean, you know, you never know. And yeah, let's get out of that Munchoid's way because Munchoids are a pain. Indeed, we'll go for the big fossil using Elephant. Anyway, there we go, much faster. Explosions staring down. Well, I mean, if Snake is still relevant and available to us. If we go for Snake, then we can do it, because that slows the timer, but we are largely fighting as Elephant, so I don't know if we necessarily want to go for that. It would be maybe the most useful thing here, though. Unless we chose to reroll, which we didn't. And Stompoid, be hard. Yeah, let's just go Stompoid until we know what's going on when it comes to how we build. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is a challenge one, I guess. I don't even remember how that's going to work. But anyway, we're slightly ahead of pace at the moment. We always want to be about a round ahead. Oh, this must be for perhaps even hide and seek. I'm not sure. Let's not mess with it until we know what's going on. Better collecting here is going to be readily available, so let's just go for that. We can surf up there. Or last time. Oh, I missed a fossil down there actually. Let's get we'll get what we can. Just follow momentum. Generally not doing this so much. Again, it's Vindicated setup, I find. So. Okay. Let's just blast across, actually. Let's see what this gets us. Up in the hotel area. Because we don't come up here very often, I guess. This one's kind of caged away for now, but we can go Stronger Lungs, which is actually going to be immediately useful, perhaps. Now, we need to be careful. If we want Snake, we need to get it before end of round 5. That's the only thing. Oh, we would need to jump up there to catch that properly. Yeah, because we need to do the jump and all that. I don't know if we want to do it. It's a little too... Oh, yeah. Oh, with the rubber. Okay. No. Too tricky to set up at this point. Let's not waste time. Yeah, without Snake, that's hard to get back up to unless we hit the rubber exactly as specified. Let's just grab this anyway. And regret it later. So, Snake is pretty close by. Let's go for that, I guess. We actually do have Ostrich for some of the updrafts here. We should have considered that. At least we get a bit more movement going here. Yeah, so the idea is that we fill up an energy and smash terrain, and hopefully we have something to work with here that we can use. I don't think this build has really stabilized yet into something coherent, but it's still potentially a bit risky here. But at least we're kind of chasing a thing at a time and able to make a little bit of headway. Elephant Forager for sure, I would say. Given that that's what we're trying to go for here. And were the bananas in the vicinity? Not really, but we're better. Also, whoa. Yes, that's... Yes. Matter upbeat, we'd have to remember to actually do that. We haven't really been warping, but again, it's a big layer if we're eventually chasing more goals, then we shouldn't neglect that so much. Because we haven't been doing goals enough, really. Okay. At this point, let's just warp over to where we still have locations available. Yeah, we should get Zebra, just in case. We're very comfortable in terms of warps at this point, so... Let's see... Got the Zebra... And... continue to go for that. And then, oh, I see an objective. And we have something to stack with balloons, right? Unless I'm confusing it with the last round. We should have checked that first, actually. Okay, smash emerald lumps. We'll do something like that eventually. Okay, good. Actually remembering to smash them up a bit. Hearts over there. We'll grab it and avoid the Munchoid behind me if we can. Okay, you know what? Before the Munchoid chomps me here, let's actually get Surf. So we can actually go over poison when we need to. Oh, without slipping off all of the mud. Fastball will be great, actually. You know, I mean, I don't know, 3 levels in energy, though. Okay. Yeah, took a little bit of poison damage there, unfortunately. We have 1 second. Let's spin a warp just to get out of here. Well, lots of bananas in the area. I actually think we should take the treetop getaway so we can work down from there. You know, I think we're just finishing round 5, right? We're going to get a refresh. Bananas. Yeah, it's slowing down a little bit as of that one, so... However... Okay. And then... unfortunately, nowhere near looting them. Nowhere near the bananas that we saw here earlier. Okay, let's just grab what we can. Pop some treasure. Yeah, everything's far out, but we have a good amount of warp barrels, and we should use them more aggressively. Here, for instance, we've got quick storage immediately available. We'll just grab that, and we'll just head down and then grab more bananas. Perhaps. We might need to chase more objectives. We've been a little bit listless with some of what we've been doing here. How come we're not seeing whatever this banana was? Oh, because it's below ground? Hang on. What was that? There. Oh, I see. This one just below. We can't actually reach. It's hanging. Oh, yeah. Oh. Come on. It's not smashing at all. Okay, that was a waste of time. Didn't have the material to do that. Let's see. I'd rather not waste too much time with it. Let's... Yeah. Put some things here. Okay, there we go. Still have no balloons for Balloon Hoarder. I was hoping we'd start collecting some treasure here, but build's not coming together yet. Munchoids, I mean, there are lots of Munchoids about. Let's go Negotiator just in case we can, you know, have some negotiations. We have the ability to warp if we want to recover this position a little bit. Although we don't have to, if it's easier to just continue from this point, which may be... Oh, hang on. Okay, let's see. We can do this. Oop. Yeah, starting to fall behind pace a little bit at this point, so let's keep going. Okay. Now, we don't want to open up poison on our feet or anything, but we are getting a lot of the treasure chest now, as long as we don't completely eliminate this drain. And we get fossils here too. It's great. Yeah, with slow-mo, we'd need to get into Snake slow and then confirm damage afterwards. I mean, it might be alright. This is good at this point, actually. 5 times 45 for perk champ. Getting a decent number of perks. Balloon Hoarder, we still have no balloons for it, but I'll just keep going with it. Because when we do get balloons, and we're starting to get some treasures going here, then that's going to actually pay off, eventually. Yeah, we're starting to get to the point where elephants give me treasures. Not very many chips, surprisingly, given how many chip-based things we've built into later on. But, fossil. Throwing a chunk as Kong. We don't have Kong. Look at this. We hit so much Balloon Hoarder that we can't use. But if we do get the balloon, like, suddenly everything is great. So we're trying to pull more treasure here. As elephant. Yeah, a little bit listless, but, you know, try to pull treasure, and there's the balloon. There we go. Now, the balloon buff, I believe, is still combat-based, so we still need to fight, but let's see about... Yeah. Okay, and then we get apple juice going as well. Let's go to for insurance. Okay. Now, yeah, we haven't improved very much recently, though, so... Let's see. This little tree here is defended by thorns. Snake can get around it. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, we're slowing down a little bit here. We're under quota now, so we actually have to shape a bit. However, getting some chips at least. Let's go punch power. Yeah, Banergy would be good actually, but we'll keep going inhaling so we can do the treasure dig the way we normally like to do. We got a Nana over here for the snake. There we go.
You scored a skill.
Sure, let's go for that. Not the most coherent approach right now, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Okay. We don't need that many barrels, but oh, we finally see the Lumps objective over on the far end there. That's so far off. Right, because you need to boost up on the updrafts to do it. We can go for the egg bomb over there, and then just steadily work away towards it. And just go for a bit more elephant combat, because we do get actually sizable bonuses off that. That's nice. Might even survive this round now. Charge up skills, no, we'll just go chip feed. And then, yeah, Munchoid is going to be an issue here, but let's grab a banana. And just get out if we can, and then a fossil. Yeah, I guess occasionally we throw things, but let's actually just take it just in case we can make good use of it. Yeah, so we absolutely need to ride the updrafts for this bit here. And then, yeah, the void goals are actually in decent shape right now in terms of the bonus, because the multiplier has been going well. Despite everything. Chip order, we have a decent amount of chip bonuses actually. It's not maybe the worst idea. It's still kind of combat dependent though, in a way that might be a little bit limiting.
Should we go there?
We've got lots of warps, we've been underusing them.
Wanna try it?
Okay. Oh, come on. Inhale. I was hoping to do it quickly enough to not have the round expire, but unfortunately not. And we are still very much behind pace, so not going well.
You scored a skill.
But hey, we're rusty at this, so these things will happen. Okay, we'll continue to go storage proof, actually. That's been helpful in a way that other things have not been. And go for that melon juice one over there as well. And then
A banana.
oh, come on.
We got a skill back.
Well, if we're vacuuming out treasure, Hardy Groove might, you know, actually start to become relevant. We're getting about 1,000 per banana now, which is important to know. If we can get up to this one here, which we can with Snake potentially, or with like rolling over here and then going Snake.
Should we go there?
Yeah, we've got so many warps, and we really need to use them aggressively. And the thing is, we've been neglecting a lot of the lower layers as well. Okay.
You scored a skill.
Apple Hoarder's looking nice, actually. It's still dependent on enemies, though. So we do need to fight. Okay. And okay. Melon Hoarder. Okay, now things are looking a little bit more promising. We got 99 bonus. 36 seconds, we're still a little bit down. Rolliscoids, we need to port down and fight them now. That has to be done.
Should we go there?
Yeah, we need combat goals at this point because like we have combat bonuses. We just need to do this. Okay, good. Over the line. Just barely. So yeah, if we go for combat goals at this point, we're fine. I don't know if Banana Slime is going to pay off too much at this point because we've cleared a lot of the map, but more balloon bonuses, that's good. Okay. Wait, it's starting to go well. Finally starting to come together into something coherent. Okay, do a little vacuuming here and then figure out Buzzoids below the rubber platforms. We're gonna port to that. Oh, Kong Bananas over there. That's good. Get away and then get them.
Should we go there?
Spin the warp. Okay. Finally we're getting this into a playable state. And yeah, unit chips are looking nice now, actually. Okay, and then you know what? We can just go Snake to get this instead of bothering with the rubber or anything. More multipliers or more anti-buzzoid. Okay. Okay. Actually, more anti-buzzoid because we're not done with the buzzoids. We haven't finished this yet. Multipliers have been pretty modest here, but we are at least finally getting to the point that we'll, you know, be able to keep pace with quota. Okay. Want more elephant uptime, but actually, if we go ostrich over here, two together like that, though, that's obviously the escort. Can we do that quickly? Maybe. I think I'd rather go for combat objective as the priority. As usual, we'll roll from down here and
Should we go there?
take that as our route. Okay. Okay, good. We were gone for that apple bonus.
We could do it.
Did we? Chip treasure, surfing beats. Yeah, we're actually in a pretty good shape with chips at this point. We actually should amass them for more bonuses. Let's just continue going treasure because like we're starting to finally get the typical elephant treasure strategy together in a way that is actually functional. You see lots of squealites on this map. We'll just take that. And then let's, get some of those geysers going. Defeat that Munchoid despite not taking a bonus for it. Just vacuum everything around here. Yeah, the geyser bonus is actually starting to pay off with the terrain here. Didn't expect to do that well, actually. And we see some squealids later, all the better. Right, because we have the Banergy bonus for the full Banergy, which kind of stacks upon itself once you start collecting things. And, you know, we can just keep on going with Elephant at full charge and just vacuum up everything around us. And we don't even have poison ground to work with here to worry about. Yeah, we'll use the barrel cannon beside us in just a moment for the objective, but, you know, this is actually stacking nicely, just to vacuum up all terrain. And we're over quota for this round. We'll need to continue compounding to make sure we can stay ahead, but we'll see what we can do. But yeah, actually, this is starting to go nicely. That finally has a method that pays for itself. We should continue building Elephant with some of these chips. Okay. Because, yeah, now this is looking viable. Our apples, or the apple bonus as well. Oh, speaking of which, apple bonus, we should actually raise the cap as well. So we don't cap out necessarily. Look at this. This is finally looking nice. We just demolished the entire hotel by the time we're done here. We actually need the collecting bonus as well. We just need a little bit more range. Because we can't just rely on the vacuum to do all the work for us. And we got more balloons, more treasures. Yeah, so... See, suddenly this is looking okay. In ways it was not before. Because we just finally have the elephant synergies going. And yeah, got more apple. Are we still at capacity for apple? Yeah, we need to raise it. So, to the max. And yeah, and then... You know, with the row as well for the long-range forager bonus. Well, we need harder material to do it that with, but we're getting so much treasure off the side now that we're safe for at least another round. It's not going to last too long, though. Can't just depend on this. But we spent an entire round actually just vacuuming here, and it was okay. Surprisingly okay. But we're not amassing more bonuses. That's the issue here, is that we're not getting more perks at the moment. We might need to. Anyway, here's the barrel cannon. Let's just take it. So yeah, at this point, I think we, you know, just continue blowing up terrain. And it works. So... The checkpoint? We gotta be near one, right? Although we demolished the entire floor of the hotel. Let's just warp up to something. We've got melon juice up here. We got... Yeah, we can just take the top checkpoint and... That'll be easy enough. And we just take down the eggshell around us here at this point, too. Now, I know we saved this banana for something. I might actually go fastball instead at this point because, you know, we are generally using that as our elephant combat method. We've always found that to be very synergistic. And we even have the buzzoids spawning right on top of me right here. And follow up nicely like that. Except we need to go back upstairs in just a moment. Before we destroy all the ground. And then we'll do the other one. And get the fastball bonus in that as well. And so we'll continue trying to stack more of those balloons. We've got 3 balloons right now with a huge bonus on them, so that we were hoping would come together at some point, and now that it finally did, we're just in great shape.
I knew we could do it.
Yeah, finally some momentum. Smelting green. Do we really want to cache so many chips right now, though? Let's save it for later. We still got a lot of time left on this map, but if we need to really get over the line, we'll take it at some point. But I want to keep my chip hoarding right now for a moment. Maybe I'll come to regret that, because like that would get us several rounds worth of safety. Smash the emerald lumps. Where are they? Ooh, and poison. Okay. Then Turf Groove, not that we've been using it. Encore Groove, not that we've been building it. Let's just go Treasure. Okay. Where is it? It's going to be Center Rubbery Roost. Let's just go.
Should we go there?
And just smash it all. And we're under the rubber right now. We need to get up above. Yeah, we're not over the line enough to be in the clear just yet. We might regret not taking Smelting Green. I was kind of hoping that we would have time to get maybe up to the 500 or something with chips, but we should actually not depend on that. And yeah, let's just go Gold Champ at this point. I mean, it's not that consequential, but Stumpoids are over here. We can go for that. Let's just go Ostrich, actually. Right in the middle of that barrel. That was fancy by design. Okay, then let's just vacuum everything until we find out where I wanted the banana. Oh, it's objective based over here. That's fine. We can probably elephant our way through that. Yeah, elephant's actually just going to solve this completely, so... Or at least I thought so. Oh, we're just going to miss. Are we not over quota yet? Yeah, we're not over quota yet. We have to shape up here. Maybe we should have taken Smelting Green that time. That's okay. Next time we see it, we might have to cash in on that just to be clear about it. Now, yeah, Storage Groove actually does kind of cap out, but or at least it seems so. I think I'd noticed that before, actually, when we had previously taken it for an elephant-based challenge. Not that we've been turf surfing into anything, but yeah, you know what? We're not doing that often enough to get bonus off of it. Let's just vacuum up some territory until we get over the line, since that's been the best approach here. Occasionally we get long range, but not that often, so let's just go goals, go for the multiplier, because we get a 4,000 per goal at this point, and so might actually be pretty advantageous. We're pretty close to the void goal for the Stumpoid, so let's just go for them. No need to worry about the warps if we are right there. We've got fossils next to us as well. Okay, still behind, so we're not in the clear, but... Yeah, I mean... I guess we're kind of permanently an elephant at this point. We're not going to get much of a bonus off of that, though. We are, however, going for tons of treasure, and we have Melon Hoarder now. And we also need to... Whoops, wrong button. We need to raise the melon cap. If we're going to do that. Then... Now, we need combat to make use of that, so we need to do that now. We can. More balloons, great. Where are my stompoids? Ostrich Elder Square, let's just go for it now.
Should we go there? You got this!
Just continue going fastball. And we get a times 800 now. On these, which is great. Continue to go Melon Hoarder for that bonus. And then we have another Stompoid fight very close by, very convenient. So yeah, looking good. Looking good. We're over quota for 14. And then the next fight should actually prove to be pretty good. So, as long as we can loot that thing, which is a bit far away. All this time we didn't even have Smashing Forager. Unfortunately, yeah, we hit that a little far away to loot. Whoops. Oh, wow. Just got smashed there. That's the thing. Yeah, unfortunately we just couldn't loot that fight. Oh, we're hitting solid ground. Yeah, no wonder. Okay, you know what? Let's just warp out of here. Unfortunately couldn't loot that, but we'll not waste time. Okay. Let's go back to Elephant. Okay, that's better. So we're not just sending it off into the abyss this time. Bare Knuckle, not really fighting number Bare Knuckle. I mean, we can, but we've got better stuff going on. Okay. We've got a generous margin. I think we should be able to remain in the clear as long as we don't have too many disasters for the final round. And now we get to see the music pick up. Hear it, rather. That's the nicest thing, actually, about going from the 10 round to the 15 round format is you get to hear the proper climax. Buzzoids down in the swamp, let's take them. Lots of punch power available here, actually. Let's just grab some of that. If we can. Yeah, I mean, we even have some standard Buzzoid fights that we can do in the meantime, too. That will just get us a bunch of loot. Totally apart from the Void Goal. And then... yeah. Oh. Now, sent a lot of that pretty far away, but we'll just pick up all we can. Okay, luckily some firm ground here that we can stand on while we vacuum everything around us. And we are over quota for 15, so we are in clear, just barely. Yeah, not the cleanest run, but we'll take it. And then we'll get into another fight.
Should we go there?
And then got a banana over here that we can smash. Yeah, we do. Okay. Not that we really need it at this point, but... Pristine Primate. You know what? Let's take it. We haven't had a chance to take it yet. And at this point, we actually should be able to fight some of this stuff cleanly for once. For the extra 500%. Whoop. Even if we're just doing this at the very end here. And then we even get some melons for the melon bonus. As long as we don't hit poison here, we're fine. And it is a bit of a risk because we're vacuuming so much mud. Let's find that Munchoid. Okay. Just vacuum some treasure before we're completely done. Didn't really get to loot much of that at the end, but that's okay. So we couldn't quite see the percentage we got off of that, but at least we are through Forest 5. The second attempt. Yeah, too bad we lost the streak after the disaster of the first attempt we put into this, but the important thing is that we did get it done.
Fantastic! You did great!
Okay, so that's it for that. Then let's just look over what we did here. The multipliers didn't go that high. Got up to 800. Modest numbers all around, actually, but once we settled into a pattern of being able to just vacuum up terrain with the elephant and have that sustain itself when it comes to Banergy and chips and everything else, we even sat on, what, 200 some chips we didn't use at the end, and which we could very well have traded in when offered if we wanted to pump the score higher, but yeah, it took a while to figure out how that would cohere, and we did make a little bit of a gamble by committing to things like the balloon and apple bonuses before we actually had the relevant items to use it, but picking up elephant nice and early does allow you to try to bend your build towards that over time, and we didn't in the end even use the chips to block very much. It was a very large perk list in terms of the number of different things we took, as opposed to the challenge where we just really had 3 or 4 main choices. I think in the end it worked out. Yeah, too bad the first one was such a disaster, but we will have a new outfit for Pauline. It's the Platinum dress. I guess this is a skin on a diva dress, if I had to guess. By the looks of it. Very nice, going pure platinum over there, and at least we will get 1 reward up the ladder today. Just a few more to go before we hit the 10k. Now we've been taking it slowly. We've just been doing basically one of these every time we come back in for the monthly challenge, and we'll be back again next time too. And we have been running these as shorter streams. I mean, you know, if we wanted to push a little bit longer today, we potentially could to grab another layer or something, but I think this is also a good time potentially to call it an accomplishment. But yeah, with having collected all of the Squawk statues, we have nothing to spend our 2,500 trips on. And we've just bought up everything in the game. So at this point, you know, we're just waiting for the 10k on the point card. That's also going to apparently fill in the last records that we need for the music collection here. We're just missing the final ones from Emerald Rush. Yeah, the 3 here, I think we just collect them all over the course of finishing Emerald Rush. And that's it. There is a bug on my file where when we collect new music, this is actually out of sync with the count of the actual records we've picked up. And It was because of a bug that happened when we were buying up records with chips in the ingot aisle and at the vendor that was over there, and so it's kind of interesting that even after multiple patches, that internal count discrepancy has still persisted. So if I collect a new disc, for example, it would correctly register that as disc 115 out of 117, but the indicator would actually tell me that I'm on 2 more than that until it overflows. So anyway, so yeah, short stream today, I guess, by our usual standards. And we still need to figure out Benandium Tone at some point. But I'm kind of tempted to push Cannon or something, but you know, we know that eventually we're going to get Canyon Layer or something. But we know that we're eventually going to get a challenge on each layer in Emerald Rush by the looks of it. It looks like that's how the events are being paced when it comes to the rewards that cover both the Bonanza forms in this game as well as the tributes to previous games in the Donkey Kong series. So maybe we'll just kind of retain our research in the Forest Layer and take that with us when we return here a month from now. So we'll pause here for today. We got lots more content coming later this week because we're currently one stream away, I'm pretty sure, from finishing AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, and we already have another game ready to go after that. That will hopefully be able to start up by the week's end. So we'll maybe return to the newly acquired statues that we have.
Should we teal up?
And leave off there. Yeah. Filling this out with Jungle Beat and Tropical Freeze. Incidentally, earlier today, Donkey Kong Country Returns, the Switch version, actually received a surprise patch that introduced Dixie Kong to it, and also added a little bit of sprucing up for people on Switch 2. I'm kind of wondering if Tropical Freeze will get that treatment at some point. Get some kind of Switch patch. I'm not sure it even needs one necessarily. The game's in great shape and always has been, and is just absolutely wonderful in its own right. But see, can't quite climb in here, unfortunately. But we'll sit on top of the horn and teeter. There we go. We'll do a photo op and mess around with this off stream later, perhaps. But for now, that's all for today. Enjoy the event in your own right if you happen to be playing it. We definitely had sloppy first attempts on both the things that we did today, both the challenge and the Forest Layer, but managed to put things together in the end. Only just. And until we meet again with all of the other content that we have coming down the pipe, have a wonderful time ahead of you with everything that you are doing, as always. And as we typically like to say, fare thee well.